part of the islands where the sun meets the sea. There's a day that we love, it's our time to be free. From the hustle and bustle, we take a step back. It's Aloha Friday, it's time to chill and relax. Aloha Friday, the day we all love. With the in and I know we rise above. From the Real Uncommon podcast, we bring you the vibe. It's time to celebrate, let's take this ride. Nano's laughter, Dee's witty charm. Together they're a team, they'll ease you with calm. Talks of life and passion in this digital land. Aloha Friday, come join our fam. Aloha Friday, the day we all love. With the in and I know we rise above. From the Real Uncommon podcast, we bring you the vibe. It's time to celebrate, let's take this ride. Witty charm. Together they're a team, they'll ease you with calm. Talks of life and passion in this digital land. Aloha Friday, come join our fam. And Nano's laughter, Dee's witty charm. Together they're a team, they'll ease you with calm. Talks of life and passion in this digital land. Aloha Friday. From the mountains to the beaches, from the dawn to the night. Aloha Friday spirit shines oh so bright. So gather your friends, let your worries go. It's time to talk stories on this YouTube show. With the positive vibes and the ocean's breeze. Aloha Friday is moments like these. Aloha Friday, the day we all love. The in and I know we rise above. From the Real Uncommon podcast, we bring you the vibe. It's time to celebrate. Let's take this ride. This ride. Let's take this ride. From the mountains to the beaches, from the dawn to the night. Aloha, aloha, Friday spirit shines oh so bright.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Real Uncommon podcast. This is our 141st live stream. Happy Aloha Friday, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. It's the weekend. It's time to relax and chill. So let's get the show going. But before we even start, let me get the boss in the studio. Dee, how are you?
Hello. Happy Aloha Friday, everybody. Happy Aloha Friday.
There we go.
Don't work till whenever.
Sing it, girl. Go for it.
And it's a great mint today. 141 on our live
look
stream.
at you right there with the mint. How you doing, Dee?
All about the mint. I'm doing well. How are you, Hinano?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, today was a good day. I actually got to work from home today, which is nice. For the people that know what's been going on with me, I've been in the trenches working at a triathlon. And I got to tell you, I'm so sick of looking at bikers on the road. They're driving me nuts. But you know what? We're here. We're hanging out. Who do we got today in the studio, Dee?
Well, I think everybody knows him. They've been seeing him around a lot during this past weekend. But yeah, we got him back. It's been a while. And we also have someone else too. So let's bring in... Bump it up, MC in the house.
In a virtual world where my treasures lay. Happy collecting, that's his call. He's my collectibles, one and all. In the VeVe streets where he sets the stage. In digital collecting, it's all the rage. In this digital age where the future's bright, my collections shine in the soft screen light. With OG flair and a community that's tight.
That was awesome.
What's up, Mycollectables? How are you?
Oh, I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Good,
Doing
man.
good.
Good. Welcome back to the streets. It's good to see you. You look tired, my friend, so I hope you're doing okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm gassed for sure, but I'm okay.
As long as you're not gassy, right?
Yeah, not gassy, no.
Whoa.
I did just come from New York though, and ate a lot of pizza. So
Okay,
I might
it's
have
like,
a moment or
Ooh,
two.
it's like a
hear
chili
about that.
pizza.
Yeah, chili pizza or
With
something.
pineapple on it, I bet.
You know, this
Oh.
it's the same. It's exactly as is in the movies because I've only been there twice, right? Last year and this year. And
Mhm.
there's steam. Speaking of gas, right? There's steam coming out of the street, just like you see in the movies.
Oh, like Ninja Turtles
wow.
theme.
Yeah, it's like, and actually, it's really
Oh.
funny because I was walking around with Corey a lot from VeVe, right? Corey, and he was saying like there was a manhole like right by the hotel, and there was a lot of steam coming out of it, and they actually had built like kind of a I guess the street workers and stuff who were like repairing had built like a funnel thing up so it wouldn't kind of like get into I guess the cars that would pull up, and the turtles are down there.
Forget
So,
the
yeah.
con. Let's go down.
Yeah.
Right. So
Oh,
yeah, for sure, it was fun. But yeah, I'm pretty tired from that. Anybody who is down there is still recovering from either partying or working or just the travel. But it's
Yeah.
still worth it, right? It's a lot of fun. So
And you guys look like you guys are on your feet the whole entire weekend, busting you guys' butt. Everything was good. We got to live vicariously through you folks. I really enjoyed your interviews, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But I've noticed there's other people that showed up, so
Other
I think we
people.
should bring them in.
Okay.
And this may happen, MC. People might show up. We leave the door open over here, and then people just start coming in. So
never know.
yeah.
I forget who I sent all the invites to. My bad.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Come, one and all.
Let's get this other guy in. You guys might know.
Whoa. Digital vibes, now VeVe vibes. He's the man of the market watch. With his YouTube channel, he helps us through our collecting journey.
What is up,
What's
Vibes?
up, vibe?
I love that. That's awesome. I did that. That was amazing.
The track's yours. I'll send it to you when it's done.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Today was a little stressed at work, but definitely that song cheered me up. And watching this whole intro thing, it's you guys have done an amazing job. It's definitely more elaborate than I remember. Gosh, when you guys were still like in your first like 20 streams, doing all this stuff. So obviously you guys have come a long way. And,
Training wheels.
oh yeah. So, but no, I've always enjoyed. I'm still watching all the content creators and stuff. I did take a bit of a break, but now I'm starting to get a little bit easier at work now. So I do want to plan on coming back around and probably do a little bit more like video content. I do enjoy doing live streams and just like throw it on the stream and just hanging out with everybody. But I do want to start making content that's like a little bit more focused and talking about things that VeVe could do and, feedback and this and that and what we can do with the market. I still think there's a lot of cool things we can do with like the market. And as VeVe's expanding with like the VeVe comic side of things and like other platforms and same thing with Stacker and all that stuff. So it's like, oh, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's actually kind of getting me excited because I do think some of those platforms have a lot of capabilities that they didn't, even like a year ago. So I'm excited.
Well,
Vibes. I just want to
He was vibing.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, we
thank
got
you
one
guys
more
for-
person. Let me bring one more person in. I don't have an intro for him, but I do have this for him instead. But let's bring this other person. What is up, Doctor?
Oh, what's good?
What's going on? Vibes, MC,
Doctor Strange, we're back.
we're back, E Hanano.
How you doing, man?
Chilling. Appreciate the last minute invite. I had a spaces going on, and Nano came in and helped me out because I had some technical difficulties. And yeah, man, he invited me on last minute. So here we go. We here, man. Glad to see everybody. Glad to see MC again. Getting over a little Comic-Con crud cold.
Oh, the VeVe fam cold?
Yeah, and it wasn't even like from the fam either, man. It was some random dude that was in the bar, man. That's know who it was though. I know exactly who it was, man. Seen him
He
sneezing.
pinpointed it.
Yeah, he was sneezing. He was trying to get away from him. Me and K-Verse. He was like, "Oh, he's sick. Let's get away from him. Let's turn our backs." And it didn't work. He still got me.
Oh, you had a
how
shadow the whole
rude.
time. Yeah.
It happened to
Yeah.
one of the staff members on VeVe who flew from New Zealand with his wife, and he wasn't working the convention. Doctor Strange, you might have met him, Devin. I don't know if you met him. He's a tall guy, and he was there, and they got into a cab. And the guy in the cab was like sneezing and coughing and like this is like on their way out, and they had no way of getting out of it. And they knew it. They knew it. They're like, it's just like you. They like, this is the guy. And then they got sick. It's like, oh,
damn.
And they knew it. They knew it. You know.
Yeah, as you're sick, days later, you just see his face in your head. You're like, man, I knew it was you.
That
Yeah.
guy.
That was the one.
That one.
And he probably
random-
recovered faster too, right?
Oh,
So,
yeah,
like,
you
you
know
guys
that.
are like on the
Yeah.
death end, right?
Yeah, we
So-
get the tail end. Yeah.
That was the end of it.
Well, guys, good to see you all here. Happy Aloha Friday. And, you know, we wanted to make sure that we had the warm welcome of you to come back to the streets of YouTube here, MC, because it's been a while since we've had you here in our presence. So good to see you. I'm just going to jump right in, and I guess we'll just start talking story. You've been the community manager for quite some time now. And by the way, I want you to be Mycollectables tonight. I'm not asking you to put on the community manager hat. I'm not going to poke you for any alpha, although if you want to spill any, that's up to you.
It's not recorded or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's here with us.
Exactly. But I kind of wanted to know, how has the experience been since the last time we've seen you on the YouTube streets till now? How's the progression? And basically, you know, what has been going on with you in VeVe? Let us know. Fill us in.
Yeah. Things have changed a lot in the last little bit. That's for sure. You know, so it's been since mid-April that I joined the team. And like, yeah, I haven't really gone on a lot of live streams or anything like that at all since then. It's just been really, I've just been really focused on the job and trying to like improve everything and get things better. And it's been a lot of changes internally that you guys don't know about since that time to now. Specifically in the last like month or so, you've probably seen a lot. I mean, with Ben Rose coming on and everything, that's changed a lot in a good way. And they were just like, you know, in the whole summer long, it was just kind of leading up to this kind of stuff. So just for me personally, it was, you know, the job that I'm in is like really, really improved a lot, you know, in the last little while, because, you know, before, you know, in this position, you have to be able to talk and communicate and like, you know, take feedback in. So I was taking all the feedback in, but there wasn't really anything to like share out there. Now there's people in place who are like able to actually open up the doors now, and because now stuff is ready. And so I'm just like super happy about how it's developed in the last little while. And it's made my job a lot easier. It's made my experience a lot better. Like for most of the summer, guys like myself and Eagle, you know, on Discord, like the community managers, right? We've it's part of the job, but we've been taking a lot of the you know, feedback and a lot of the you know, frustrations and stuff on behalf of the company, and that's okay. That's part of it. And then
you've been boxing.
Yeah, we have, and we've been trying to like, you know, just stem the tide and buy time and just be keep it positive and try to share as much as we could, while we knew that plans were kind of in place coming along. Some we didn't know about, some, you know, we don't get told everything right on the spot. So just from a personal level, sometimes that can be difficult because, you know, before, like if I'm on my channel, I can just talk about whatever I want, and I can just say whatever I want, you know, to whoever I want. And I can like get into it with people or not, which I never really do. And I know you guys don't really do that either, right? Just try to keep it positive. So, you know, so it's difficult from that because it's a different thing if I work at the company, right? So, so there's challenges there for sure. But I made it my kind of mission from probably about June or so to try to like take VeVe and try to reach out as much as possible. And it wasn't easy. There's a lot of like things in place in the background that, you know, I had to kind of push, and still not there yet. You know, working with like content creators and community and giveaways and like promoting people up and trying to do like, you know, collabs and stuff. Still so much more that I want to do. But I think we've kind of pushed forward a lot, you know, since I've joined. Because before that, I mean, we were all, you know, had our channels doing our stuff together, and you know, we would cover like all these platforms, and some would reach out better than others. You know, VeVe didn't really connect that much to the community, you know, like when specifically in the last couple of years, I know when we're all doing our stuff. So it's kind of up to us to like figure things out. And so one thing that when I went in there was to try to at least connect better. But it's, it took time to kind of get these things in place with plans and just to show that kind of stuff. And still a long way away from even close to what I want to do with you guys and with everybody. But I think we're getting closer, and I think things are happening. And so I'm really excited about that. And so, just from a personal level, it's been a lot better in the last little while. It was always good, but this job in particular, right? You have to kind of be out there, and I don't mind being out there. I just it's great to have the tools to do it.
It's awesome, man, and
That
I
makes
can
sense.
definitely it makes a bunch of sense, and we can definitely see that you have made your mark in the community with the giveaways. I've seen you on Spaces a lot more. I've seen the communication improve. Ben Rose has been just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
What do you think about all this, Vibes? What's your take on this?
So I didn't know much about Ben Rose before. That's another thing I've been kind of doing the last few months. It's just been kind of doing a little bit more like homework on just kind of crypto stuff in general, in different like projects and stuff. So luckily I have a lot of knowledgeable people there. And then they kind of told me, some people in the VeVe community that are very knowledgeable about crypto, like, ooh, getting Ben Rose is like a big deal. Like, he's a very well-known figure in like the crypto community. He gets a lot of respect. He's a self-starter. Pretty much started the whole like New Zealand branch and all that stuff kind of on his own. So it's very impressive. And I love the move that Dan and David have done, where they can just focus on what they do best. To be frank, I can only imagine what David was going through trying to juggle. He just wants to focus on collecting, having fun, maintaining these connections, building IPs, growing the community, all this stuff. And he's juggling all these things. And I'm sure it's, it's a little out of his, depth. It's not so much his forte. So I think it only makes sense that, they bought on Ben Rose. And, I love his attitude. He's very results oriented, which is nice. And I think obviously that's something VeVe's trying to like follow through on. And I think Ben Rose is a great guy for it. So I'm super excited. At first I was kind of like, who is this guy? Then after I did a little bit of research, saw a bit more news and things like that, and him talking in Spaces, he seems to be very open and just honest about, what his goals are and, his intentions with the, with the company. So.
And he's a smooth operator. I've noticed he's very good with speaking, especially when he's because we've been watching him in all these live streams and everything like that. Doctor, what do you think about all this? Now that we've had VeVe kind of like open up, I feel like it's just like a flower blossoming and blooming open. What do you think about this, Doctor?
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely. Like you said earlier, breath of fresh air is always good. I feel like, honestly, with there being so many moving parts to what this is, it always felt like it should have been 3 people involved. And I don't know who that other dude was that left, but it feels like whatever his position was, it was meant for him to be more active and more productive in whatever he was doing and hired for. So, I saw this hire happen pretty much weeks after that, at least from what we perceive on our end. So I think that it was meant to be like a 3-headed monster from the jump, and it just really wasn't. It panned out where it was like 2 guys were pulling all the weight instead of the 3. And I know how that could be being in a 4-man rap group, but each man excels at, certain aspects of their job and their roles. So when you have someone not fully committed, it just, just makes things less productive. So I think in combination of having a third body on board, when I look at his track record, did a little research on him, and I found people that had worked with him in the past, and one thing I noticed that they all consistently said about him was how fast and efficiently he worked, and how like impressed they were with what they got from him. So, a lot of people also were saying like when he got involved with their project, he was able to hit the ground running and actually like have things implemented really fast. So those types of positive attributes, more than like the Binance and the crypto, I looked at like him working with people on a smaller project basis, and that's what I just consistently saw in the reviews were about his turnaround times and what they got out of working with him. Like it was way more than what they expected, and seemed very happy. So seems like he has a lot of good attributes that we need right now. So if he can do what he seems to be able to do naturally and from his previous experience, then yeah, we're about to hit overdrive. My wallet's about to be on fire, baby. It's crazy.
What I love of what he's been saying is just like the short to medium term and then the long term. So there's like two avenues that you guys are actually going down, and I love that. So MC, first day Ben Rose is on the job. How was that like? I mean, for you, do you report to him? What was it like to see Ben Rose for the first day?
Oh, it was great because I mean, like first thing, you know, just company wide, introduced, just like basically went in there and just said, this is what we're going to be doing. This is what we're going to try to do. You guys are all important parts of it, and let's streamline things a bit better. And, you know, let's get this thing rolling. And he really was like, if you saw in that first video when like he was introduced to everybody, you know, it was really just about like what Dr. Strange was just talking about. It was just about, you know, David and Dan are like geniuses in their area of what they do. They're also, you know, good speakers too. Like when you see David and Dan at the convention, they're amazing with people. And, you know, with all the community updates they used to do, right. When there was other people involved in the company, like, you know, before they were able to do some more of that. But in the last like 6 months or so, they just, I mean, everything that they're working on that you guys are starting to see, it's too much, you know? So having him come in there and then he was just saying like now they have people in the places that they should be, you know, like David's out there just, I mean, all the IPs and the company building that he's doing. And then Dan's doing all the back end, like everything that you see, like with the websites and the development of stuff. And that stuff is all like internal that nobody sees that, right? But Dan's in there just working with all these people on the team and, you know, like building everything. And it's taking time, but like you see the VeVeverse announcement thing now and how things are starting to come. And then Ben comes in and he's just like this full catalyst of everything, you know, but they were talking for a while. I mean, I don't know how long, like we were told internally at a certain point, this was going to happen. And like, this person's coming in, and it was all, you know, like kept really kind of tight-lipped until it was supposed to come out for everyone, because we're all doing our jobs and our roles and internally and how we do things. And now that he's come in, it's the last bunch of weeks have been awesome. It's like a real injection of like energy and positivity, but also focus, you know, which is really great. And he's been telling that, like, if you just watch all the times he's shown up and he's been talking to people, you know, it's just about like streamlining stuff and focusing on what we need to do. And actually he uses the word a lot, prioritizing like what people want. So you can see he's in the community. Like I've really impressed about how he's been, if you just follow his like X profile, like just how many interactions he does with everybody. And that's great. Yeah, because as somebody like myself as a community manager, I mean, that's kind of what I was doing and supposed to do as well. But I mean, I'm one guy, and Eagle's on Discord, like, and Discord, as you know, is like an animal. It's a monster. It's a beast, right? So all the mods in there that work with the Eagle, you know, they just like, I mean, it's its own world, right? Which is kind of like a mini VeVeverse in there, kind of like that's kind of like what Eagle likes to call it, you know, like, you know, when if VeVeverse opens up and we're all in there talking, you know, Discord's kind of like the staging ground in a way. That's how Eagle thinks. So he's really long-term thinking, but that's the whole thing. So then I'm on the socials with the other marketing team, because there's a few of us, right? You've seen Diana on our videos, you know, of course, Corey does all the content with videos and editing and all these promotional videos and a lot more than that. And a few people would have seen some of our other members at the booth, you know, who don't come on screen because, you know, they don't really want to do that, but they're in person. You can meet a few others, right? They're on the team as well behind all the socials. So, you know, Ben comes in and he's just like, okay, you know, this is the kind of things we need to do. This is what I think we should be doing. And he was already planning before. So it's like not coming in going, oh, what's this all about? It's like coming in going, okay, this is what we need to do. And okay, like, but also staff, what do you guys think? And like, keep it coming in. And with me in particular, he's been like really great about, okay, like, let's start, you know, booking on shows. Let's get out there. Let's meet people. And so his calendar is like super busy with licensors and like meetings and internal stuff, of course. But then we're able to now put in, so you can see that he's been it's just the very beginning, right? But he's like, he was just yesterday was with like the web 2 days ago with WebV Wednesdays, right? With he jumped in there. And people don't know, like, he jumped in there not from the office. He jumped in there from a personal place that he was at that I won't mention here, but he certainly did not have to come because it was like something that he had to family, whatever. And but he showed up anyway. And it was like not a ton of time, but I talked to Oz about that after because he wanted to spend more time there.
Yeah.
But he's been on, like, with Randy, he did that interview, and with Comics and Crypto, he did the interview. He's coming on Collectors Gone Digital next week. We're just trying to, and Will goes meta after that, and then the German guys, and hopefully he's going to be here with you guys, and we just have to coordinate and get those times in, and then he can come in and just ask. He can just ask questions and hang out because he just wants to know, and he's been on a Millie space, and so he's been trying to be everywhere at the same time as being internally, like, supercharging it. It's really amazing. And I haven't talked about it a lot, in this forum, but down at the Comic-Con, I was talking about it. He wasn't there because, he's back home, but hopefully he'll be at the next one and he'll just be killing it there. So it's a pretty cool time, I think.
It was funny. So, like, Sunday I was with Oz and we were on VeVe weekends, and we were joking around like, I bet Ben's listening to us, because he did admit that he's been kind of like hanging out. I don't know. They call it the grease trap, right? I wouldn't say he's hanging out in the grease trap, but we were all like, who is he? There was like a mysterious Jawa down there. Like, he's got to be the Jawa. And then he shows up one day. I'm like, oh my goodness, he is the Jawa, and he tried to connect on Sunday, but he had a hard time. But yeah,
there's
that's
technical,
super cool.
Technical glitches that he had, unfortunately. But yeah, he's there listening. So I don't know. He might be watching right now.
And he's welcome to come on whenever. I mean, like I said, I leave the door open for anybody. This is we like to call this the digital Hawaii meetup, where you're kind of in our living room and you're just hanging out. So yeah, anyone is always welcome to come up. But you know what, MC, this is about you. Let's get back to you. Does anyone want to ask MC any questions before I pivot a little bit? D, you haven't really asked anything. Go for it.
Well, kind of just going off on what you guys were talking about with, you guys were talking about Ben. I'm like, wait, this is not about Ben. But just to agree with what you guys have said, I think he's what's been kind of missing in the, for management. It seems like he's going to be like kind of cracking that whip, sort of say, to get like people in the positions that they need to be to get the company and the business moving forward, and be, as everyone's saying, more focused. So I know there's a lot that's going on, and instead of trying to do everything at once, it's like everyone's got a role now, and Ben is going to be there to help facilitate that better. And I also wanted to mention that I've noticed that since you've been the community manager, there's been a lot more communication, so to speak, where before there was not a lot. And some of us may have voiced our frustration, all that. And to see you be in the position you are now, and being able to because you came from where we all started, from the streets, and now, you're kind of where, just kind of where we are at this level, and you being in the position you are now, you're more able to help get the voices, heard, and the feedback, and hopefully something transpires to where it makes everything better, the project better, the collectors, more happier, everyone's just more happier. So that's props to you, and I'm very happy for you to be in this position. But I did have a question, because since you are in this role now, what is something you miss the most about not being the community manager when you were Aaron, normal guy Aaron?
Where's Grogu?
Grogu.
Being held hostage somewhere, I'm sure. No.
Grogu's still here. Grogu's over there. Well, I think I just joining the team changed things, with how people perceive me, I think. And people perceived me a certain way before, and some of it was good and some of it was bad, whatever. And most of the way people perceive me isn't exactly accurate, in either way, in either direction, so and I think what I probably miss is just you know, just hanging out in the group and kind of being on that side of it where you don't know what's happening. And so the speculation game is super fun, but also, you know, being able to kind of like talk to each other about like what we think could happen, what we should do, all those kind of things. And on this side, I mean, I just know a lot. You know, I don't know everything. That's a misconception too. Like, you know, there's a lot of plans and there's a lot of stuff that comes along that isn't shared with everybody until the right time, you know, which is strategic because they're still working on things. So I do get surprised a lot, like internally, just a little bit before you guys do, which is a good thing. So I still have that, you know, which is fun. But you know, just I kind of miss that notion of you know, we would do a vid together, all of us. We'd not really know what's going on. And so now when stuff gets announced, I'm on the other side of it. I'm usually one of a few people who sends out the announcements. So then I get to have some fun watching the reactions, you know, and then I think to myself, what video would I have done? You know, like what would I have said in the video about this, you know? And then the good news about that is before the announcements come or before the plans come, I'm really lucky that they've been really great asking me that, you know, like, so this is coming out and what do you think? Because I can give that video feedback ahead of time before it hits the streets and then maybe affect a bit of change on it, you know, just from the experience we all have in the community and like with the app. So I would miss those things for sure. I mean, when I did my last live stream, you know, I did get emotional because it was like, you know, it wasn't I was happy about joining the team or anything like that because that was never a goal or anything. It was just, I knew I was going to miss. I knew it was going to be different. I wasn't going to do those spaces like that anymore. Not because they told me, they never said, oh, shut your channel down and you can't make videos. It's just, I just knew that it would be different, right? Like, and so I was kind of soaking that moment in with everybody, which was really cool, right? It was a super fun moment for me, right? And the only reason I don't make videos on the channel now is because I'm just trying to concentrate on the VeVe stuff, like making videos there and doing the job. And I've been tempted though. I've actually recorded a couple videos that I never released. Like I recorded one about like a comic that was dropping because I just was so pumped about it. And I was like, I just did it myself, you know, and then I never released it or anything. I just kind of recorded it, edited it. And I think maybe I was doing that kind of as a, I don't know, is like for fun in a way, like on my own. And I was thinking, well, no, I'll just, you know, stick to the VeVe stuff and send those out and let everybody else take over the, you know, the content space. You know, Doctor Strange makes those great, you know, videos about comics and stuff too, which is amazing. So I'd rather just try to, you know, support him, right, doing that or other people. So, but yeah, I do miss some stuff. I miss the live streams, hanging out and just chatting, but I've been able to do them with Corey and with Diana as well. And we've been able to have fun there. And we want to do a ton more. We just, over the summer, there was a lot of schedule type stuff like that you know, the Comic-Con seasons and really just trying to build like this whole role that I'm in, you know, with the team. And, but yeah, those live streams were fun. The one we did just the day ago, that was a lot of fun, the recap one. And so I get to kind of do that a bit, but not the same way. So that would be my answer to your question is just, you know, I miss those fun times doing those bids and stuff, but I'm trying to do that with VeVe in a better way to help out. So I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think the one thing I think everyone in the audience misses the most is your reactions to certain drops that are dropping that no one knew about. And I'm hoping that you get those same reactions in your meetings. I'm hoping someone films you one day and we get to at least see your face and not necessarily what they're showing you, right? You know what I mean? Just
I
like
do.
I totally reaction.
I totally do. Sometimes I'll be in like a marketing meeting where, well, not so much the marketing because then everything is being planned, you know, by the genius people above me, right? And but sometimes when I'm in the other meetings, there's like a drop meeting where I kind of get to see some stuff. There's also like a bigger company-wide meetings where they show bigger plans, and when I sometimes in there with like 60 people, like, or whatever. It's, it's like a big Zoom and you don't see everybody on screen unless you speak, right? Then, how your icon will, your
highlighted
come up. Yeah. So, sometimes they'll do an announcement in there and I'll just be like, oh, and some people, will say, oh, look, I knew MC was going to like this one, right? So, because I'm getting to know more people. There's a lot of people at the company that I haven't really met that well, like, because, you know, it's like remote working and they're in different departments. And actually what, just going back to Ben, like, and what Dan does really well, you know, is just connects those departments, which is super cool. So I got to meet like a guy down in New York named Nick, who works on he builds all the designs and everything, like the KFC pin and like all he actually makes them. Yeah, I remember Dr. Strange, we got to meet that. And like I had met him in person before. I've only been in some meetings with him. Super great guy, you know. So like I'm still like getting to know everybody there. Like I know it seems like it's been a while, but there's still a lot of people for me to meet and work with and collab with in the company as I spend more time in there and learn about the company, and then I can just bring that feedback in even more. So it's definitely evolving.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Vibes, you got any questions you want to ask MC?
Oh, I do. I got
Vibes.
Nah, not too many. I would say
nicely done.
Nicely done.
That was perfect.
No way. What are you doing?
You gotta come to Vegas. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
I know. My God.
Well, my first question is, what was your favorite comic, like VeVe exclusive comic that was released at Comic-Con?
Oh, well, like the physical one, the Frank Miller is pretty damn cool. Like it wasn't on the app, but I mean I got a copy of that. You know, I also, for you guys today, I brought you guys a giveaway. So
nice.
yeah, for sure from Comic-Con. So and so I guess the Frank Miller, because it's Spider-Man, and you know, I think my second favorite is Swaggle Haas's Sanity comic and I got it right here. And I'm not just saying that, he signed a bunch and gave them to me and said like, hey, when you get back home, like just if you're on these shows and stuff, like please give them out. He autographed a couple packages, so I'll show you. But that comic is super cool. Like, you know, I'm a Marvel guy or a DC guy, you know, like I love all the big heroes, right? All the classics, you know, and, but new comics, you know, it's something I never really focused on too much, like independent artists and stuff. I just, you know, unless you know the person. But that one I actually read, and he signed one and he gave it to my daughter because on the 20th, when I was at the Comic-Con, it was my daughter's birthday, you know, and I'm down in New York and she's up here. She turned 17. So she's into old movies and stuff. We watch old movies. Like tonight, we'll probably watch an old movie, right? And this comic that he did has got like this in the back of it, which someone will get here. Hopefully, if you guys want to do that, that'd be super cool. But it's got like a vintage poster in there that with the characters, like old kind of pulp, you know, like 1930s, 1940s detective kind of comics thing. And he signed that, you know, like I asked him to. He's like, I mean, he's just like any one of us. He's a super cool guy, has his own channel. I mean, doing his own comic. So that one I gave to her. It was really cool. So that comic, I've read it and it's really cool. It's like dark and like mystery and detective and fantasy, and it's just a cool ass comic. So I think those two. And then of course I actually picked up, well, I'll show you the ones I actually got when I was going into the Comic-Cons. Okay, so here's that Frank Miller. Okay, so I picked this one up, you know, just for myself, right? Yeah, that's one of them. But I went into the long boxes and I got some deals. So I got like, Spidey's 49, you know, and you can see there's the price is crossed off because I went on Sunday. You got to shop on Sunday afternoon. You get the deals. Because, you know, everyone wants to go home with less inventory, right? So, and then the Spidey 66.
Look at
you know, and then look at the Craven
That's my book right there. That's
look at that.
You know this one, right? And then this is really old. This is 27.
Wow.
And see the goblins in the corner over here. So I mean, Spidey's missing a bit of a chunk of his face there. There's only 20 bucks. I got a good deal on all of them, right? Yeah. But I don't care if it's a beater. And then probably the most favorite thing I got was Rudy and Tina gave me this Collectors at Heart book.
Oh,
look at that.
Yeah, with like pictures of all the fam and everybody. And this is like amazing. So this is going to go behind me as well. And they gave that out to a couple people.
That's so cool.
And then they lost some comics. Unfortunately, we had one thing that happened is there was our payment machine went down because of the internet so bad, and that was on
Thursday.
Thursday, and there's a giant line around people trying to buy pins and comics and everything, and all of a sudden, when they get up to the front, basically, there was one guy ahead of them. The whole system went down, and we were like, so. And then over at the Fig Pin booth, they had like 6 terminals. They all went down, so it wasn't just us. But it was like a good 40 minutes at least, or an hour. So everyone was patiently waiting, and so then they went to go. Rudy and Tina were buying like these comics, and and they decided to do it with cash, right? Because they had cash. And I'm like, oh, you guys are carrying a decent amount of cash here. So they had to go ask somebody else, and like they worked it all out. But they bought. We were putting their comics all together, but because of this kind of mix up and slowdown, a bag of theirs went missing, right? Like they left it, I think, and like it had all like amazing Spider-Man 252s. The that one up here, right? But they sold out day one, right? What was left? There was none left, hardly any left over from San Diego. So now I'm trying to help them like recoup that, because they like it went missing I think it might have gotten like right on the counter, and then maybe somebody, other staff, because it sold out, maybe sold them, didn't know that it was put, because it just kind of got left because of the confusion. So, but anyway, that's a side story, right?
That's a bummer, though.
Lots of those side stories, but everything went well. But
we love side stories.
Yeah,
I gotta admit, though,
my favorite comic vibes going back to it is those two. And where is it?
Yeah,
the Sanity comic, right? And then there's the poster on the back right there. And then there's cool. Got like trading cards that he designed with the characters.
Wow.
And so, I got signed to like this one for my daughter. And then here you can see he signed it right here. So this copy right here, this whole little package, I'd love to give it to somebody, one of your viewers today, if that's cool. If you guys
no way.
And we'll just ship it off to them. Yeah, right from Swagger. So if you guys are cool with that, that would be that'd be amazing. If
I don't know, D, are we cool with that?
Nah, we don't want any giveaways. Not on our channel.
We should just send him our address. No.
Yeah. We'll spread it. We'll forward it to the winner. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sorry, guys. You know me. I can talk for hours, and I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
Great.
Yeah.
No, I like that. Roots. Yeah, I like that one too. I actually went on Amazon. There was someone selling those same comics as like a bundle package for roughly the same price. So I was like, yeah, I couldn't make it to New York Comic Con, but I just went on eBay, just bought a couple bundles of that Spider-Man 59, and it's just a little bit extra tax and shipping. That's it. But when I saw that comic and how excited everyone was about the artist and everything like that, I was like, all right, I got to get this Frank Miller cover. Everyone seemed pretty stoked about it. So.
He was in the building, like he was downstairs. Like there's a misconception. He was never at our booth signing. He it's Frank Miller, right? It's like he was down. He had his own lineup that went out to the parking lot probably. And but it was cool. If you some people did get a chance to go down there and sign it, and then take it to the CGC booth and get them to grade it, and then get the VeVe label, and then get there's this like pin that you could get if you graded a VeVe comic. And I don't know if Doctor Strange might have one, but there's a pin you could get, and there's only like how many of those pins? Like 300.
300.
So that was cool. It's just another Comic-Con thing, right?
And I heard one sold recently for like over $600.
600?
Yeah, I thought someone posted it on Twitter. Like someone bought one of those VeVe pen, those exclusive pens for like over $600.
Oh, there it is. It's got a 10 on it. Yeah,
Gem Mint 10.
There you go.
Gem Mint 10. It's a CGC pin. Yeah, you got to get it at the booth, like the CGC booth, right? So.
Yeah, I put in a lot of work at that booth, man. I got a couple of these 10 pins.
I saw your post.
Did you see it? Did you see Dr. Strange's performance video though?
Oh yes, that's the first time I've seen him perform. That was phenomenal. Let's talk about that.
You should see him live, you guys. This guy right here.
So how was it live? Let us know how it was. So you went to the parties. You're now an official representative of the company and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How was it now? Because you went last year with Vibes. You guys went as content creators, but now you are official. So how was it? And how was Doctor Strange's performance? And we'll let Doctor Strange talk after that too.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same going because it's the party, and I didn't have to work. Well, actually, that's not true. At the VeVe party, I was tasked to take videos, so I took a ton of footage, and I've yet to upload it to Corey so he could do a recap. But he was so busy getting back, so I did have to go around. But no, it was much the same, just meeting everybody, right? But the next night at Sanjay's party, we did some giveaways there. Sanjay had giveaways coming out like from just everyone. It was incredible. So I missed the first part of it because I was back in the hotel room with Corey cutting video. Actually, it was just, and then we got there a little bit later, so I think I missed the first part. But when I got there, I don't know if you perform yet, Doctor, but after I got there, you were just about to go on. I think they had you up and down a few times. I think.
Yeah, I was up and down. It was like, all right, you're on in 5 minutes. And I wait there and be like, never mind, we're going to do a giveaway. I'm like, I'm going to go get a drink then. So I go you know what I'm saying? I end up, and then like the third time I went outside and then I run into Seth Gilliam. I'm like, ain't you the dude from Walking Dead, bro? What are you doing here?
That's so awesome.
That's so awesome.
I'm like, this is
Father Gabriel?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, keep giving me back and forth. This is all right, man. So, yeah.
Yeah, once he started, it was amazing, and I tried to get some good footage of him, and then you did that mashup thing, because I tried to get as much as I could, and then I know everyone else was too. So if you guys got footage, please send it to him.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like everybody's hodling the footage, man. This is not the time to hodl, guys.
You gotta pay a premium to get the footage.
It's valuable footage.
I have Sanjay asked me to send him a picture of me performing. I'm like, how am I Thank God MC had sent me at least 2 snapshots of me performing. I'm like, dude, I wasn't thinking about someone else my phone. You know, our phones are like prized possessions of what we got going on sometimes. So I wasn't trying to have, but I saw MC like front center. He was on the ground, had one knee with the journalistic pose going on. The green army man with the old plastic on. Yeah, he had the pose.
I don't give a shit. I had to get everybody. I'm like, I'm getting this.
Yo, I was like,
right away.
I knew it was gonna be popping when he spun around me on some 360 shit. I was like, oh shit! I just played into it. Like, let's go, MC.
No, you were the star, dude. Like, that was amazing. It was so cool to see you do that. Like, I knew, I've heard a bit, but seeing you in person, that was super awesome. Especially when there were so many people there. That was great. You did I
appreciate it, man. I didn't have a lot of prep time at all. This was just something that we talked about in spaces like 3 or 4 weeks prior, kicking it around. It was me, Magic Emoji, Fungible, and us three. We were already kind of like we're talking in the backgrounds, just working on projects possibly in the near future. So we kind of hinted at that during the space, and then all the talk of the party coming up, and Magic is like, yo, why don't you guys, do some music or whatever? And we're like, we would, but the new stuff isn't made yet. Non-Fungible, he can't make it. And then Emoji was just about to come out with the song. So, he was just thinking more from the perspective of like trying to get the Omi burn mechanism working properly. And, it was like literally in the last stages. So he wasn't even thinking about like performing or that song, but she kind of like threw it out there. And then I was like, well, I'm definitely going. I was like, I don't know about performing. I don't know what I would do. I haven't made anything new per se. And I am working on something though, but I was like, I don't know if I want to really do that. So I really was just falling back. And then in the last week, I heard for sure like Emoji was performing and it would be performances supposedly. So I was like, okay, cool. And then, yeah, man, I mean, like literally maybe 4 days out, I'm talking to Sanjay and he's like, yeah, man, you should come through as an artist, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right. So when we were talking, I was literally in the studio. So I was like, this is perfect. My boy, he was working on something though. He actually has like a mini movie he just put out. It's on Dynamic of Music here on YouTube. That's our channel. And I kind of had to get him to like stop what he was doing to help me put together like some sort of set, So we whipped that together. But then at the same time, I was going through a lot because even though I'm in New York, like I'm not in the city, you know what I mean? So the logistics of saying, okay, I'm going to a Comic-Con, then a party at night. Am I taking the train like an hour, 40 minutes back home just to wake up and take the train you know what I mean, back into the city. I prefer to stay in the city, so I was trying to get these different things going on the side, and then I'm still making content. So it was like I didn't have time to do anything properly how I wanted to, much less like rehearse a set or anything like that. So I honestly didn't even put much rehearsing into it. You know, those are just verses that I just know, you know, and the rest just takes over. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Natural.
It
Natural.
all came together as it should have. Yeah.
Yeah,
Work out.
exactly, D. You know.
That's good. You're like, you're comfortable in your element and stuff like that. And you look very comfortable on stage, Doctor. And that party looked very, very fun. Now, I've only been to one
Yeah.
Sanjay party, and it wasn't a VeVe Gold logo party. It was a Dave and Buster party, and that was still fun.
Yeah.
But memories, guys. What is like? Can you tell us a story of what happened there? What, like, anything? I don't know if you can tell me a crazy story or like something that was memorable, but MC and maybe Doctor, if I don't know if you were involved in it, but like, can you guys tell us something that you guys remember that sticks in your head from this past weekend?
May I just ask the stipulation question?
Go ahead. Yeah, Doctor. Yeah.
Are you asking, do you want one per day? Or do you want best? Because I had like 2 or 3 per day, bro. It was crazy.
Just, something that sticks in your mind, a memory. I mean, I'm sure you guys had lots, so maybe you can just pick one. MC, you go first.
Yeah. The one, and I've said it a couple times this week, and it's about the comic, right? That Swaggelhouse dropped, and it's not about like the comic. I just remember it was just cool. Like, if you ever created anything and you don't know how people are going to react to it, and you put it out there, and then I've done that, right? Like, my job before was graphic design, so I've had to do a lot of, presentations for people that either liked what I was doing for them or didn't, and it's just part of the job and that kind of profession. So to stand beside Mickey, right, and to watch him kind of go through that, like to watch his experience like beside him like that was cool, just from like a comic nerd watching somebody launch something, kind of nervous a bit for them. Hopefully it does great, and then and have it turn out well for him, and then have a reaction that he had after, which is super cool. So it just is a moment. I mean, there's lots of personal moments and fun moments like that around the whole thing, where I was like, talking to people and seeing people I hadn't seen in a long time or whatever, and new people, right? But I just remember that one for some reason stands out. I was just standing in the booth beside. I was just kind of observing this thing happening, this thing happening for somebody else who's put so much work in, and I just was discovering it for the first time. Like I didn't know about the comic until like not that far before the convention, right? And I had never met him. I just watched his channel, so that was really cool to meet him too. But just to see somebody do that and then kind of stand there and then see it work out like quite well. It was really a cool moment, and then it made me kind of think about all these other people who are like at the convention who have like, they're trying to bring their art out,
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool that people in VeVe like pretty much embraced them, that was just a cool moment, that was different. I'd never seen anything like that before, really, like, being a part of VeVe or something in the community or not. Like I've seen people launch, NFTs and projects. I've done my own. We've all done this stuff, and there must be what Arcade goes through when he does this beautiful art and like, so that kind of level, right? It's pretty cool to sit and see that. So I love that moment, standing there watching him do his thing. It was cool.
I'm sure every comic reader at some point is like, man, if I could make my own comic, I'd make it this way, or I would have played out this story totally different, or I think Peter Parker should have done this instead of that, or whatever their kind of thought process. So.
Yeah,
that might be a good question for you another time when you're on. Is like, if you could make a comic, like, what would you make? What's the style? Do you have a team or individual superhero?
One other thing that was cool for me personally was like, so we were packing up the booth at the very end, right? Mm-hmm. At the lights went out, and it was really weird because we were all at the booth, and I there about half an hour before the convention closes, it's just the convention. There's just thousands of people walking around. The booths are alive, all around you. They're selling, buying, blah, 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 interactions like right up until the minute. And then all of a sudden the lights kind of dim in the building. And that was kind of weird, right? It's like last call. Yeah. And then so I was like, okay. So then they start to kind of like, well, everyone's got to leave basically. And the security and the people that work there, they must have just like really been like, okay, you're out, let's go. Because, then all of a sudden the place is just empty. Like literally, like within 15 minutes, it's like it's over. The whole thing is over, and it's weird. And so you're at where I was at the VeVe booth, and then we were all there, and David and Dan, and so David comes in, and he was already there at the end, but he's like, okay, we got to start, basically packing up. Not the big booth. There's a team that they hired that dismantles the giant booth because that's like a big job. And I was there on the Wednesday night while they were building the booth, these people, and they were the greatest people ever. They're like literally constructing the walls and putting so at the very end, David's he's like, okay, everybody, we got to start doing this. And he's done 100 of these or 1,000,000 of these shows outside of VeVe, right? And so we're all there. Everybody that they brought down there was there at the booth working it, right? So we're putting all the boxes away. And David points to me and he's like, this is cool for me, right? He's like, okay, the comics, because we had got the comics that we were selling, and the boxes are open and they've been like leafed through, and they need to be sealed and shut and prepared and put away and traveled, so then they don't get damaged, right? So he's like, okay, you got the comics, make sure he trusted me with the comics, like to make sure they were packed right. So I spent all this time, and I'm down there taping the boxes up and making sure that they're nice and even, so they're not going to flop around in the shipping. And then so I'm doing about 20 minutes, and I kind of just stand up and like straight, because I was kind of down on the ground doing it. I stand up and I turn around, and the convention is like literally dismantled.
Yeah,
it was so weird. It went from literally 20, 25 minutes. It went from full on New York Comic Con, like right in the middle of it all. Kids everywhere, cosplayers. I turn around, and like it's nothing but forklifts, construction, boxes, like just debris everywhere. Like they're pulling the carpets up. It's probably a boat show the next morning.
Get out!
Yeah. And I'm standing there, and I took a moment. I was like, whoa, what just happened? Like this whole weekend just went by, and like there was 100,000 people in here 20 minutes ago, and now it's empty. It was a weird, kind of cool, surreal feeling. So that was just another kind of,
that is cool.
I never experienced that. I'm usually the guy who's getting kicked out, right?
Yeah.
Grab your things and go.
They don't. Yeah, I assume they don't mess around getting people out. I mean, a lot of these people have been doing this for decades, for the most part. So they know that like getting out sooner rather than later is always better.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, my dad. So we usually help him every year with like a festival and stuff like that. But like, I mean, it's nothing to the size of Comic-Con. But like, I know that feeling where all of a sudden you had like maybe 500 people in this big arena, and all of a sudden it's just done. Everyone's done. Everyone's unpacking. You got tape going all over the place. You got people wheeling in like, carts and stuff to get your stuff out. And all of a sudden, like you got security saying, "Get out! You guys got to get out." So
yeah, it's incredible how much like planning and building it takes like hours or whatever for the first day, and it's like gone in like 10 minutes at the end. You're like, what? All of this work and preparation gone in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's just over.
It's
the whole experience is over. And it's kind of sad that it's over, but you're also kind of relieved, like if you're working, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And then we did there was a little staff dinner that we got to do on Sunday night, which is really cool. It's in San Diego. I was there, but I had to leave on Sunday during the day. I had to fly, so I didn't get to do the close down and the Sunday night, because I was going on my family trip on the Monday. I had to fly back home, and so I missed out on that. So there was like a little staff dinner with the volunteers too, and we were at like this like kind of pasta pizza place, and it was just like big portions so we could all share, and that was really fun. That was really fun to do that. I've never done that, so I felt like I kind of got closer to the team this time because it was in person. Than the whole time I've been working there, which is just a personal kind of cool thing.
Yeah, and you would think it would probably get easier, and you would kind of have like a routine down the more you do these Comic Cons or in real life events. Yeah, hopefully.
Get some
like
sleep.
monkey wrenches. Yeah, have better planning.
And that must be interesting for you because, like, I was watching you interview Omi-wan, and I really loved those interviews that you did. They were very personal touch. I mean, a lot of us was just living vicariously through all of you guys, the videos. I think the Omi Homies was filling us in, and everyone else that was on the timeline just dropping whatever pictures from the party, Docta, and all that stuff. It was really cool. But like from like interviewing people online to actually being in person, how does that feel for you? Because like, you know, we know you long enough. We see your smile. We see you start perking up in the cheeks and that you're having a good time, you know, doing his interviews. But how does it feel? Is it surreal for you from going from digital, like we're doing right now, to like in person, you're talking to the fam? How does that feel for you?
Yeah, that was really cool. So when I went to New York last year, when Vibes and I were there, and Doctor Strange when we were there, right? You know, but I remember going to the booth and they were with Marvel. Of course, I was on the team then, right? And they were with Marvel. I remember going there and standing. I remember we were standing like kind of across the aisle, just looking at the spectacle of it all, like Marvel and the giant stage and the VeVe's connected. And I was like, whoa, like this is like legit. Like, you know, then I was like, oh, does Marvel care about VeVe? And then they were announcing them. I was like, okay, they do. That's cool. But then I was also like, well, there's nowhere to go over to the VeVe booth and kind of hang out. There's nowhere to like interact or do a video. I remember we were like, Vibes and I were like talking about getting some content or maybe doing like an interview with someone. And it was difficult. Like the team wasn't like standoffish, but there wasn't like a place for that. You know, there was like a line to buy your comics and then they had kind of the backside and then there was the Marvel crowd and there wasn't really anywhere. And that's sort of, I guess, how it was supposed to be. So then when I started working at the company and they were talking about New York and they were talking about San Diego as well, but we had a little booth, right? And that was cool for what it was. It was like a good little, but it wasn't like this. So they were talking about New York. And I remember I was giving them feedback. I said, you know, what would be really cool is like for people who are coming there, like content creators or anybody, if there was space somewhere that you could actually interview people or talk or hang out, because like if it could be a corner maybe or like an interview area. And they were like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that if they had space for it. So then when the designers put the booth together, they put this spot in the corner in the back of the booth. There's nothing there. There's just VeVe logos on the wall and stuff. And there's no chairs there, no tables, no storage, no nothing. And I'd love it if there was like seats and like a more of an interview area. That's what I want to try to do for next time. But that was great to go and have that spot. So because all I wanted to do was it was like talk to the people who were there and have them tell you what was going on. Because when I was there, when Vibes and I were there the year before and Doctor Strange, when we were there, we just wanted to tell everybody what was happening. So we would have to go on the street or something, you know, or I was doing my shorts videos like in the parking lot because the internet was bad, but also I just couldn't like, you know, like where was I going to go? So it was cool to have that. And then I know some people did some vids there, like Doctor Stuff did some stuff there. And so I want to make sure that in the future, like at the next convention, there's actually a more established space there if possible, where people could come and actually maybe if we can get the internet working better, maybe they can hook into our Wi-Fi and do a bit of a live stream. Because, you know, you just want people to see what's going on. Yeah. And I wanted to talk to these people that we know that you meet in person now and talk to them and just tell everybody how you're feeling, even if it's for a minute or two. Yeah. And so I personally love that part of it. I hope everybody liked that part of it too, seeing familiar faces and the voices, you know, that you hear, but you don't know their face. And then they say something to you and you're like, oh my God, it's you. I know you. And they're like, yeah. And then you see their face and then their face doesn't look anything like their voice. And, because they know my face because I'm on screen a lot before. But I don't know their face, and I'm like kind of tripping out, but I'm not telling them I'm tripping out because I'm like, oh, your face. So there's all that too. But that was the answer to your question about I love doing that, and I tried to help have a spot for that in the booth. So now that the booth's big enough, we'll see what happens next year. I hope we can do the same and actually expand on it, make it even more robust, and then have people come and sit and do their shows there. Because there was sorry if I'm going on, but there's like that's right. Yeah. Well, actually the German guys came over, like Captain VeVe and all them. Yeah. And they were like, you guys should have like an upstairs, a second level with like a lounge. And I'm like, great idea. But I mean, like, as if I don't know if that could happen because some of these booths were like super tall, right?
Mhm.
You could have like a lounge up there, and I can just imagine people falling off and like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that
Exactly.
liability.
Doesn't sound safe.
Yeah.
So no, but it was super cool. I mean, I love nothing more than chatting with everybody. It's the best.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a lounge area. I remember last year, probably because we were partnered with Marvel, it seemed very transactional. It's like step up, do a purchase, leave, or step up, do a picture with the Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Mighty, and then walk away. That was kind of it.
Yeah.
And then obviously like the internet was the issue. So it's good. You guys kind of expanded on that. I did see the booth this year. Obviously, it's much bigger. You guys can do what you want, fig pin, like all that fun stuff. But having a nice little lounge area where people can do quick interviews on just simple furniture, do a 5-minute interview and step aside and let the next person do their thing. So I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Great, right? Give people a place to kind of share their experience, right? You know, that's what it's all about.
And I gotta admit, like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's our thing. Go ahead, Dee.
That's a great feedback for the next event, MC, and call it the collecting corner.
There you go. Right there.
Stamp that.
Yeah. Collector's corner. I like it.
With the red couch.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that is kind of the title of the Web V Wednesday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just missing the couch. That's it. So.
Yeah.
Well, when you're like so they had the eBay stage there at this thing, and Corey was there for a bit. That was cool. And then TikTok had a stage in a different location, and they had like a full setup, like stage, lights, cameras, all the desk, everything. So I don't know exactly how that worked. I have to ask Corey about that, but VeVe hooked it up so he could go over there and have like a time there and then do a live with them. And I guess you booked time with them. I'm not really sure exactly how it worked, but but having like something like that at the VeVe booth, like an area, I don't know. I think there was enough room in that corner that we had this time where you could have put a little, because we had some, chairs that we put out when we sat and did a couple things, but it'd be cool if it's like people could like come and use the space. And when you walk past, people would see that going on, like, oh, what's going on over there? Like, lights and stuff. But Corey did say when he was under the eBay lights, it was like sweating, because
it's
hot in there throws the balance. He was like, oh my God, I'm like a spotlight, like under the limelight, like literally.
So that must be cool because so you're not the only one from the streets. You got Corey from the streets. How does it feel like working with Corey and reconnecting in VeVe?
Yeah, Corey's a champ. He's a beast, and he doesn't come on camera as much as obviously when he had his channel, but he's a legend. I don't know what I can tell you. All the vids that you guys see and all the edits and all the promotional vids, and him and his teammate, who I won't name here, but he can do that. But he's super cool. They just work day and night, and he loves it, And like he does miss the fam. That's why these live streams that we've been doing have been really fun for him. I know that we've been talking a lot, so he loves getting out there and talking to you guys too, as much as possible, right? So I've seen him get more active, depending on his schedule behind the scenes. So, but things get streamlined more for that too at this particular moment. So I'm sure you'll see a lot more of Corey.
That's good. Yeah, I do miss his content. I remember from the beginning, dude, he made the most like in-depth, researched, everything, the production quality, everything was just like so great. I'm like, this guy's gonna do really well. And then it doesn't surprise me that VeVe approached him and like, hey, you just want to do this for us? And so, and it's big props, honestly, for both of you guys, because I remember Aaron, like a year ago, we kind of talked about this, like what would it be like to work for VeVe and what you would kind of have to give up, and then what will you kind of knew your image would change, and people have varying opinions and either think you're a shill or whatever, or a sellout, whatever it is. So I remember us talking about that, and you knew you would have to kind of give up some, creative liberty and not that kind of stuff. And I knew you were passionate about it. So, but at the end of the day, I knew you were like what you gave up to basically become like the community manager. Like I knew you were the right fit, for the role, and everyone has immense respect for you and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm excited for what you guys are going to do in the future, and hopefully you guys work with some content creators. That'd be awesome. More in depth, but yeah. And that was kind of another question I had, like between you and Corey and maybe others, like, have you guys noticed that there's like like a gap in the community or something that's like missing, where you guys are like, gosh, it'd be great if someone just like stepped up and started doing like this kind of content or started talking about this kind of thing, or anything like that you guys have been kind of thinking about?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really say there's like a gap necessarily. I know, like, so I would do very specific videos on my channel. It would be like shorter, kind of 5 to 6 minute like comic review or drop review videos with price predictions and things like that. And that format hasn't really been duplicated. But Doctor Strange is doing like awesome like comic breakdown videos in his own way that are like just the best. And I know it's a time factor for you sometimes too, right? So and the live streams are covered by like, you know, like Hinano and D, you guys are doing the community. I like you guys are bringing the communities together, which is like that's like one of the biggest, strongest things ever. I know that's like your guys' mantra in a lot of ways, is to like, you know, shed all the whatevers and just like get down to bringing everybody together and like focusing on, you know, why we're all here and everything. So I know that
We try.
yeah, it's true, right? The team appreciates that. I mean, everybody who's in like kind of in the marketing department or in whatever, who's like, they watch everybody's stuff. They watch all your guys' stuff all the time. And my job is to kind of like, you know, kind of start engaging, get the company the bandwidth to get, and then because of who I am and what I wanted to do. I mean, not even, like I said, not even close to even done with that. But that was like a big thing. I was like, yeah, this company needs to really engage with and because it's not like just the community. It's like, I mean, there's financial reasons. I mean, like there's satisfying your customers and reaching out from all those kind of like, you know, marketing, selling, kind of, you know, all that kind of stuff. But more importantly, it's just like engaging with people. So I think there's like a lot of people in the community who are doing like really great vids. I mean, I think what we're missing is just more numbers, you know, a wider community breaking out. We've lost a lot of people over the last few years. Like, you know, before I joined, we kind of the content creators were dwindling down a little bit. And it was only left to us like real diehard nuts, you know, who like still kept doing this stuff, you know, with no financial gain whatsoever, just because we're passionate, right? And so I think, yeah, I think once we expand the community more, and one thing that I've learned is internally is that one focus is to connect communities. Like the fig pin thing is really interesting to me because I didn't really know about that coming along until not that long ago, right? But one thing that it opened my eyes to was like, because I was never a pin collector, you know, like just never, not really into that kind of thing before. But now I'm kind of like, I see like the fig pin community, because there's a big community there, just like any collecting community, right? There's the sideshow collectible community. There's like, you know what I mean? The Lego community, you know, whatever. And within those communities, they have all the IP. Like Lego's got all the IP, right? Sideshow's got all the IP. Figpin's got a ton of IP. And people who like that kind of collecting, they like all the same stuff we like. They like Spider-Man and Star Wars or whatever, right? But they collect in the pins, you know, for whatever reason, they just were drawn to that. So that whole community is just as passionate as we are about what we do. So if we can bridge those two communities together, then we all share the same passion. It's just a different kind of collecting. Like I can get into collecting, you know, Grogu pins, you know, like I know the Pinnacle's got that stuff going on too. So like it's all the connecting of it all. And I think it's that's the one thing I think that that's coming from top down is like, that's how we can grow our community, you know, is if when we connect others. I know you guys, we've all been trying to connect, and I think we're all pretty much the same community, you know, with the McFarlanes and of course with the Crypt Toys and, you know, with the HRO.
We all came from VeVe. I'm going to say it. We all came from VeVe. So.
We all came around. I came from Top Shot, you know, NBA Top Shot. That's where I came from, right? So, and I still have my account there, and I still log in. It's again with LeBron kind of asking for comics, like you know, Candy people and us. They should be all over that because you know you get LeBron and his crew in here, then we're talking. But you know, but anyway, I just think the connecting of those communities is how we grow, and I think our communities are kind of like tight, so we need to open those doors, right?
Yes,
get some more people in here from the outside, and then go appreciate what they're doing. And I'd like to learn a few new areas of collecting. Like I started to notice the pins. I was saying this earlier in the week. It's like I said this exact line. I'm going to repeat it. And yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'm a pin collector now.
I was never.
So
yeah, it's like when I was saying, like when you like say you're going to buy a car, and I said this earlier, right? And you have a particular car in mind. Suddenly you start seeing that car everywhere, like driving by.
Mhm.
And it was always there. You just never noticed it because you weren't even paying attention. So I'm at the convention and the fig pin thing's happening, and people are coming over from their booth, and I'm like, wow, this pin thing is really huge, you know? And then I started noticing pins on everyone, not at our booth, but just everyone, like people with hats covered, jackets. And I'm like, wow, this pin thing is a really big deal, you know? And I started to notice like really cool ones, like ones I was like, oh, I want that. You know, and nothing to do with VeVe or anything or fig, just like, oh, look at that Spider-Man, or look at that. So it's just once you see it, it kind of opens you up. Look at that, there you go, the Canadian A's.
Let's go.
You see it.
Where did you get those? They don't let those
Courtesy
up.
of
Shout out to
our
Ray.
favorite bird from the north.
So
Yeah.
anyway, that's yeah. I
And
don't know
pins
what
are a lot smaller.
Oh, what's that, Doctor? What you got there, Doctor?
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
He's got it. Oh, he's just
Beautiful.
holding it.
There's that little, the VeVe
So
heart.
I own the digital version of that. I had to pick one up. I really like the blue folder out of all of them. They're really nice.
The
So,
blue folder.
but
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
there's
what it is,
going to be
right? It's a
some
blue folder
just
heart?
there's going to be some communication about the heart set stuff. So just stay tuned, because you know the heart set
Ooh.
stuff. They're we're working on that. So in the background about what they're going to do, with that. So stay tuned for that. And there's some
What is
more
that?
announcements coming up too. So yeah, there's the
With the
Have you
turtle.
opened
Yeah,
it
see,
yet?
there he is, the Colonel himself.
The Colonel.
Can't see it that great. My lighting is horrible.
He's like white.
I can kind of see
Fried
it.
chicken. Yeah.
We see the suit.
Let's see it.
I'm assuming you guys all bought pins, right? You guys are all pin collectors now. That's the one thing that I love what you guys are doing is the physical aspect right there. It's the one thing that was missing from Pinnacle. I stopped buying from Pinnacle because I really want the physical pins. And so I love the fact you guys are offering both right now. Chris, they're offering both. So
Yeah, no, it's super important, especially at a Comic-Con. Like you got to have physical. And I mean, David's whole house is filled with physical. You know, I mean, I know he created a digital collecting platform, but I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, look at our houses, right? We're all the same. I mean, you know, it's the combination that works. I think really great.
Yeah, I think this is one of the partnerships that VeVe's had that's like most similar to what they are. It's like another collecting community. They're focused on collecting. They have a physical and there's a digital aspect. I think they can like download the app and like scan it or like kind of add to their like digital collection like through the app, which is super cool. So I think that's like the direct correlation. I remember even looking on eBay, like some of these, I mean, these pens are like aren't cheap, like the physicals. They go for, you know, $50, $100, $200, $300, depending on how rare they are. And I'm like, you know, there's stuff that cheap or even cheaper on VeVe, you know, and physical, digital collecting, all that kind of stuff. So I've always enjoyed that. So I think this is in my mind, like the partnership that's like the best direct correlation where people are like, oh, this VeVe thing, like, oh, this makes sense. So digital, this and that. Okay, that's kind of cool, you know. So I really like this partnership. You guys,
We don't have to stay with comics and just digital collectibles. Like VeVe can expand into all sorts of really cool stuff if it backs up the initial, you know. So I think that's what David does.
Yeah.
That's what David does.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I don't know. It's crazy.
when
right?
VeVe hacks,
Right?
Yeah, I know. I've
Yeah,
been
I
looking
mean-
for merch. If we had merch for sale at the booth, we probably would have sold more than
a
that.
physical
God,
and a
you
digital
wanna
hat.
Yeah.
I
I
made
would
a killing.
wear my Yankees hat because I came from New York,
Yeah.
and of course it's the
Sir.
playoffs. They're
Yes,
playing
sir.
tonight, so.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah,
if
so
Oh,
I
sorry,
don't
go
know.
ahead.
I never got to ask my MC question. I never got to tell my story. You
Do
know
it.
what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Of my
Just jump in, Doc.
Comic-Con experience. I don't know because he gave a Comic-Con experience versus the party experience. That's why I was saying there was so many different things going on. You could have memory spawned from all of those different things. But I guess I'm gonna start with my question first, right? Because we were talking about supporting content creators, right? So one thing that I think a lot of content creators on our level think about sometimes when we hear VeVe, whenever they do talk about working with content creators in the future. If you're talking about working with content creators in the future, and then you also mix in the word influencers, that's when it kind of makes people like us feel like, well, when you're ready to really turn that marketing faucet on, are you trying to say that you're only going to work with people bigger than us and target all of these people that may not even have a passion for this, but they just have a big fan base?
Mhm.
And you're just going to use them to push whatever and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I've already seen groups of content creators within just the VeVe sphere at one point when it was robust with content creators. The ones that they pick and chose as like the golden children, they're no longer here. And then some of the people that might have not been that large at that time, they're still here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So knowing who to even work with is a difficult thing, and I get that. But, you know, I know at some point this company wants to reach a large amount of people as easy as possible. One of the shortest roads to that is just dealing with someone that has a bunch of subscribers or followers already. But it's going to have to make sense at the same time. But
Sure.
that's the question: is there any thought process behind that? Like, what happens to all of us right here when they kick into super overdrive and want to throw hundreds of thousands of dollars at marketing and give this one a deal for 50 G's over there? What happens to us?
Well, I think to answer your question, it's the growth comes from the connecting of the communities, like I said, and then we just the creators that are here just rise up.
We would hope
Not
so.
really about going out and like trying to find big fish and like give them a ton of money and help they talk about us. It's not really about that. It's not really what this company is about. And I think you'll probably notice that because we haven't done that. And I've only been at the company since April, and that's definitely not something that it's that we're focused on big time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think
question.
that there is marketing that has been done
Yeah.
in the last couple of months, but to
Yeah.
me, for the amount of money I think this company has, and for what they're capable of doing, I don't think they really tried to like market on a level that they could, and I don't think they should. So I think it's smart that they haven't really turned that engine
Yeah.
on yet. I think timing is everything, and they know way more than we do. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with the people that they deal with, they know what's coming way before we do. So they know when it's the right time to
For
spend
sure. The
money.
people who are in our community know what this is all about too, right? And so, yeah, you could go outside to people who don't know what we're all about, what the product's all about, what the company's all about, the history behind it, the sensitivities behind it, and you could like say, hey, talk about us. Here's a deal. Let's do something together. And that could work to get new people in. Sure, there could be strategies around that. But I think if you listen to what Ben's been saying about building, I think it's about building everything, building us, building you guys, building the whole thing. And, if you build it that way, it's like anything. If you build your channel and, you do it organically, your channel is stronger because the people who are actually watching you want to watch you, like they're legit.
Exactly.
You built it properly.
Organically.
And this is how we've all done it. We could have all, done all sorts of things to kind of get new viewers or pumped up our views or whatever, right? But you just focus on your on building what you have. So, yeah, I mean, we're straight on the level with that. It's that's not part of the big plan is to go out and at least not part of the plan that I've been involved with to go out and get big giant influencers and stuff. Now there'll be a time when you want to do that. You want to like connect and try to connect. I think it would be more of a community perspective. So say there's a big collecting community out there that like maybe it's Sideshow Collectibles or something, and there's like a big YouTuber there or something that is doing a lot of content and is passionate though, right? And gets wind of what we're doing, and we make that connection with some sort of collab partnership. Then there's an opportunity to kind of then like bridge that community. So then what that person in that kind of relationship would do, we would be very aware of it. It could funnel in new people that would then boost our content creators who are passionate about what we're doing. And it gets you more eyes on your guys' stuff, right? And so that's the kind of stuff that goes through my mind, like how do we boost what we're all doing here, and then we all just kind of like build it, and then if you think of the early days of like Fortnite and the video gamers that were streaming back then before anybody was really doing that kind of thing professionally or something like really, they just kind of hit it at a moment where in a video game, like say Fortnite, when it started to take off. So all of those people who were doing videos, just playing the game, they suddenly were like inundated with all these viewers because everybody jumped on board playing these games, and they happen to be the ones who were making the videos at the beginning. Right. So if you tried to jump on board that now and start some big, Fortnite content creator, like gamer channel, you'd have a difficult time reaching a certain level because there's people already there because they were there from the start.
Right.
So think of VeVe that way.
Yep.
You guys are already
So-
here.
Right.
You already
So
have
like,
your audience. So when people come to discover VeVe,
right.
as long as you guys keep on board and we keep supporting what you're doing,
Right.
those new people who come in, they're going to land on your channels, and they're hopefully going to
If
start.
we're getting that support, then yeah,
That's what you're
yeah.
asking. That's how my mind
Yeah,
works.
yeah. I just, I have a marketing and advertising background too, so I'm waiting for VeVe to post a job opening in that department. I applied for the job you got as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm always scouring the boards looking for stuff. Not that I think I would have been the best community manager. I definitely couldn't do it as good as you're doing it, brother. That's for
I
sure.
wouldn't say that, man.
You
We
know,
were all.
I might be a good like co-pilot at best, but I couldn't do it the way you're doing it. But like when I think about using literally star or someone you want to call an influencer, right? I think it's just like you're saying when it comes to working with content creators, it's not like it's all in how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was having a talk with Omi-Wan earlier, and I was saying, I come from obviously a hip hop background, and I know one of the biggest comics that like Marvel has made recently was a whole slew of like hip hop related comic books where they took rappers' infamous album covers and adapted it over. And those always do well. And I was saying like a real good way, like, and this is again, what I'm saying? I'm just throwing this out there, man. The resume is uploaded already, VeVe. You know what I'm saying? When you ready to bring me in, you need herbal consultation. You know what I'm saying? You kind of reach a different demographic. I'll let your boy, but I'm gonna give you this one for free because my ideas are crazy. But it all comes down to if you got the budget or not. If you don't got the budget, I can't really help you. You know what I'm saying? Because I got lofty thoughts. But this is how you could bridge. You talk about bridging a community, right? One of the craziest covers, crossover joint. I forget which one it was, but it's the Eminem one, right?
Yeah.
Eminem Marvel comic.
Yeah.
It's easy, man. It's easy. I mean, come on. You just Eminem shoot us a 30-second video. Talking about how they're re-releasing this comic on VeVe Marvel, but it's over. You understand how many people that'll bring over? It's over.
I know it's true. There's
got Nas. You got
why VeVe's on their own at their own booth.
Absolutely.
Let's just say that.
Right.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah,
I'm gonna jump in real quick because Vibes says he's got to leave in about 10 minutes.
I'm actually got to leave too.
And then MC is like overtime.
Conversation's too good. I love hanging out with you guys.
That's why you gotta come to Vegas, MC. Then we can talk some more.
I know. And by the way, you heard Ben, right? Like on our live there. So just look at the postings that'll be coming out. Do you guys hear that about the job postings and stuff that'll be coming out?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Keep your eyes open, and that's how like I nobody tapped me on the shoulder like I just applied.
Me too.
People there's a misconception there too. People think like, oh yeah, insider guy. No. I applied for a job like anybody else, and you got to work for it. You got to have a resume, and you got to get in there and go through the process. And they're like their hiring process is pro. It's like HR, like the whole thing. So. So you just there's going to be things that are going to come up, and if you think if anybody thinks they have the skills for it and all that, and they want to contribute, and like just throw your name in the ring, like do it, because the people from the community, even though there's people who are super pro, corporate pro, and like have years and years of this, that, and the other, the people who really know what this company is about a lot of us come from the community. A lot of us have skills that people don't even know. When you talk in the spaces to people, we don't always know what their job is or background is or what their talent are or what their training and skills are. So, you bring that to the table. So just keep your eyes open, guys, for stuff like that. Yeah.
And just to kind of touch on what Doctor was saying about like, maybe hiring somebody bigger. I don't think you have to, because once this starts rolling, because I do agree, I feel like there's wind in your guys' sails and there's momentum going, the people will come back. And I'm not talking about like, say, Chad or VeVe Visions. I'm talking about other people we've never heard of that will start mentioning VeVe again. I already see it on the timeline. There's people that I've never, ever seen like cover VeVe. Maybe they did it like at the very early stages when they started tapering off and we started getting to the bear market, but people are going to come back. So I don't even think that you guys need to go and search out for those people. You guys will organically bring them back, because then wherever the people are, that's where these influencers, content creators, they're going to come from, I think, anyway.
Well, if we come through with and deliver, this is another thing that Ben's been talking about. We keep mentioning his name, but it's so true. You got to deliver, and you deliver, then people, you have a good product and a good experience, then everybody wants to have fun with it. That's what it's about. I am gonna go and watch a movie now soon, though. Let me come back and talk to you guys more. We got to do this.
Let's run this giveaway for you guys, and then we'll get out of here right here. But yeah, before you go, MC, let me get the giveaway ready here.
This is from Mickey right here. So this, like I said, he gave me a bunch to bring back, and we'll trickle them out over the next little while. And seriously, head over to the app, and you can pick up a copy and read it. It's a good, and it's not the last one. It's an ongoing story, so it's super cool.
So guys, to win this comic, just type in #happy collecting. You got a minute before I run the giveaway. We got 20 people on the giveaway tool right now. On top of that, MC, you're going to get one of these digital comics that was made by Davo. This is actually a representation of myself, D, and the kid, and our favorite DC characters. We have to add our son into this, but you're going to get one. Vibes is going to get one, and so is Doctor. This also gives you utility into our Discord.
Nice.
You guys want to win some comic books. And then second place, someone's going to win this Grogu, because we're missing Grogu in this whole entire thing.
There he is.
And then third place will be this podcast ticket, because our Discord knows that we're going to be doing a burning giveaway soon, and you can burn this ticket to win something in our Discord. So we got MC's giveaway, we've got this giveaway, and then also the podcast ticket right there. So we got 3 giveaways tonight, guys. And guys, thank you for coming on tonight. It's good to see all of you guys here. MC, if you could kind of close it out and give us your final thoughts, and then I'll get the giveaway tool up and running.
I just thank you guys for inviting me on. I love you guys, all of you up here. Doctor Strange, hanging out in New York with you is the best. And Vibes, I miss you, buddy. We got to go on another convention road trip again.
Yeah, we need to hang out more and do more streams together, or just kind of hang out.
And I just want to share some love with you, Hinata and D, about your new family member and everything too. I haven't talked to you in person about it, so I hope you guys are doing awesome. And and I wish you guys all the best, obviously, and hopefully I'll meet the fam one day. The new edition.
Yeah. We're gonna bring him to a Comic-Con one day. Maybe not next year, because we are actively planning to go to New York. I think we're going to New York, Doc. But we were kind of talking story in a space, I think, a few weeks ago, and I got to tell you, I've paced this entire house. I've gone outside with him. I've gone to the garage, walked in circles, because he'll start crying unless you start walking around. As soon as you start walking around, the little bugger will just be quiet.
The shaker, you gotta love it.
That's how he was before he came out. He was always moving and kicking my shit. I'm like, oh my god. But he's good.
And then just from a VeVe side of things, I think you guys are going to see some. I'm pretty excited about what you guys are going to see, and I think we're building it the right way. So there's been some tough times over the summer, for sure. And so, but I think we're in a good spot. I think we're kind of rolling a bit, and I don't think that momentum is going to stop. We have people in place who won't let it stop. So you'll see the VeVeverse stuff coming up next week. You'll see more. You'll see more cool drops and ways to do things, and you'll see other stuff that you can't even that I can't even talk about, which is going to be so cool.
Yeah. And just DM us later.
Yeah, just keep having fun with it. Only buy the stuff you really love and like and enjoy, and try to branch out with the Figpin fam. Try to see what they're all about. There's content creators over there, and there's one I met in particular that we're gonna he's gonna come over and do some cool stuff. And he came to the booth and he spent a couple grand on VeVe stuff. He just couldn't believe it. And there's a lot of really cool people out there that are that we're going to meet as a community, that we haven't even met yet, just organically. They're just going to show up. So greet them, welcome them, show them what it's all about. And just keep doing what you guys are doing.
And then with that being said, guys, let's go.
Good luck. And
good luck. There's 30 people that entered. Let's see who's gonna get the comic from MC.
You got to be comfortable for
Thanks,
sharing
Shankster!
Nice.
your address.
Let's go, Shankster. These hands are for you.
Shankster! Haven't seen him in a while. Congrats, man.
on that. That's awesome. I'll make a note
That's awesome.
too. So cool.
Reach out to MC Shankster. And then, but we're not done yet, guys. Here's the second place. Let's see who's gonna get the Grogu to end it off tonight. Wow, there's a lot of you guys in here. Wow. Humble!
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Congratulations, Humble.
Humble from down under.
Grogu.
I
Any
missed it.
Grogu. It's MC's Grogu.
We missed that.
I can never sell Grogu, right?
No.
Last one here, guys. This is for the podcast ticket. And then we're going to get out of here, you guys. C-Spill.
C-Spill.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Congratulations, fam.
Let's go.
We have your wallet addresses. We will get this sent to you tomorrow. And also, congratulations to the winner of the comic book right there. Super stoked, Shankster. And MC, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast again. It's good to see you. I have to say that I feel like you're doing a phenomenal job. I'm very happy for you from where you came, from where you are now, just watching the progression, because I remember watching you from the good old iPad days. So, it's just really nice to see you and where you're at right now.
I have a lot of work
Vibes.
to do though, guys. Did a lot of work to do still. So, gotta do the best we can. So I got a good team with me though. That's really great. So, we'll do even more.
Let's go.
Thank you, MC.
Vibes. Final words.
Thanks for inviting me on, everyone. And definitely want to be making more content here in the near future. Like, work has slightly slowed down, and I definitely spent some time just kind of focusing on myself and even focusing on other investments and stuff like that. So I'm excited to be back. I'm excited for like all the new stuff VeVe's doing, Ben Rose and the VeVe comic stuff and like the fig pins and like all these new things. So I'm really excited to kind of
Elmo. Sunday. we got
Elmo. Yeah, Elmo. So I'm excited for all that. And, I'm excited for new content creators to come in, whether it's organically or if VeVe pays them. To me, it doesn't matter. I mean, if they have 100,000, subs or 1 million, whatever, naturally those people are just going to flow into just your channel, they're going to keep, hey, this VeVe thing's kind of cool. What are some other videos? Like the guy I watched only made one video. I want more. And I think we've all been there when we first got into VeVe. You're just endlessly just consuming content of like, all right, what's this comic thing and how do I play the drop and this thing, what's a mint number and this and that. And so I think the biggest issue VeVe has right now is just obscurity. Just not enough people know about it. If we could just get more eyes on it, the better. And, coming from like a football background, at the end of the day, just winning solves everything. More eyes on it, more people, more community, more money coming in, all that stuff just kind of eventually just kind of solves everything. So,
Yeah.
Awesome. Doctor, my friend.
Miss you.
I'm sorry we didn't get to your story time. We have to get you up
so
again.
sorry.
It's all good, man. Got to make these moves, man. But appreciate you having me on. Under the weather, so it's all good. I'm ready to tap out at this point. It's almost 12 a.m. But
Sheesh.
yeah, it's good seeing everybody again. It's good being back on the stream with you guys. I want to tell you guys something so bad, but then I don't, man.
Oh, you're gonna keep us in suspense
Yeah,
now,
I'm gonna
huh?
keep you in suspense. It's particularly for you two. It's you two. You two in particular. Yeah. So
Like us two.
just let it. Yeah, we'll just let it rock. Man. We'll let it rock. But yeah, man,
Christmas is coming. Christmas is
everybody
coming.
coming through, hanging out with us. Vibes, is good to see you again. Wish you was able to come out to the con this year.
I know.
Next year. MC, it's always awesome seeing you, hanging out with you. We always have a good time, man. So yeah, man. I think I'm gonna go buy me a Sanity comic again, man. I'm trying to get that shit.
Nice.
Yeah,
Should.
that I saw, man. That cover. But yeah, anyway, so that's it, man. Yeah, we'll get to my story another time, man. I think you would like it though. It's funny. I got a couple of funny ones. So.
We love stories. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
We'll have you back on, man. No worries.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll look out.
Thank you, everyone, for coming by. D, close out the show. MC, really good to see you. Vibes, we're going to see you in a few weeks. Maybe you, MC, we'll see.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, we're gonna keep haggling you. No. Yeah,
I love
thank you,
Vegas.
MC.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vibes. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, however many eyeballs are watching. And congrats to the winners of the giveaways. That Sanity comic is a great win. So congrats. That was Shankster, yeah.
Yeah.
And all the other winners. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in and listening to us with story time and yeah, chatting with these wonderful people up here. And hope everyone has a great weekend. And Doctor, I think I know what you're talking about. It came in the mail today.
Really?
Yeah. I was
That
like,
was
what? So I don't know. I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
oh shit, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I just
You
picked
opened
it up.
it? You
No,
opened
not
it?
yet.
Oh,
I know
I
nothing
know
of
you
this,
didn't
so.
open it because you wouldn't be talking as normal as you are.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, shoot. So
No.
thank you, whatever is
You're
in
welcome.
there. Yeah,
You're welcome.
we'll do an unboxing thing.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah,
take
thank
care,
you,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank you so much,
All right.
all 150 of you watching. Have a
Bye,
good
everyone.
weekend, and aloha.
Bye.
From the mountains to the beaches, from the dawn to the night, Aloha Friday spirit shines oh so bright.